What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these. Beautiful, delicious, beefy, cheesy, scratch-made, amazing beef taco kebabs. That's right, folks, we're making a beautiful, beefy, cheesy sausage and layering it between some homemade beef fat flour tortillas, throwing it on a skewer, and tossing it on the old barbecue pit. Coming up. This is some meat. Pat it dry. And what I've got here is a chunk of some lean brisket as well as some brisket fat that I saved from a recent brisket trim that I did. And both of these together should make for a perfect ground beef. But really, you could do whatever you want. And that's because today we're taking a look at something I've been seeing floating around the internet for the last little bit, which I've been calling the taco kebab. I'm not sure if it actually has a name, maybe tortilla kebab. But if you haven't seen it, essentially it's layering ground beef, flour tortillas, and you keep stacking that up nice and tall, throw it on a skewer, and then throw it on the old barbecue pit or the grill for kind of a new taco format. And unlike a lot of the food trends you see on the internet that are kind of gimmicky, I think this one's actually got potential to be pretty tasty with some different textures, different flavors, and also you can make these taste however you want. So if you want it to go ground beef, you can, ground lamb, for more of like a kofta or shish kebab style, the choice is yours. And I don't know about you, but whenever I think about ground beef and tortillas, my mind kind of immediately goes to the gringo tacos, the Taco Tuesday situation, kind of the crispy shell or the Taco Bell style taco. So that's kind of the flavor profile I'm going to lean into today. But at the same time, we're essentially making a sausage here, so you can make your meat mixture taste however you like, but I'm going to go with some of those classic kind of taco flavors in an all beef sausage. Probably throw some cheddar cheese in there. We'll likely skip out on the lettuce for this recipe, but I don't know, the day is young. So like most times I'm grinding meat or making sausage or burgers or anything like that, I'm going to start by getting this meat all cubed up. That way it cools down really quickly in the freezer and fits into our meat grinder a little bit easier. And just like that, all cubed up, I've got 3.5 pounds of lean brisket as well as 1.5 pounds of brisket fat for a 5-pound batch, which is probably too much meat, but I can always just case up the rest for some sausages. And now I'm going to stick this in the freezer for the next 30-40 minutes to get nice and cold. And while we wait for that meat to get nice and cold, let's go ahead and get all of our spices together. Starting with 1 pack of Chuds BBQ sausage starter mix. And most of the recipes I've seen floating around the internet is just some ground beef with some salt and spices and maybe some veg thrown in there. And what is ground meat plus salt and seasoning, if not a sausage? Which is why I'm gonna make life real easy and just bust out one of these, because this packet has all the salt and binder and flavor that we need for exactly 5 pounds of meat, which is what we've got. And for these quick and easy recipes, you know, this is just a great way to save some time. But like the package suggests, this is a sausage starter mix, so we're gonna doctor it up a little bit. So in we go, followed by some Ancho chili powder, some Guajillo chili powder, some cumin, red pepper flakes, and a little bit of oregano. Again, trying to dial in those taco themed flavors. And just get that all nice and mixed up. And now that our meat is nice and cold, through the meat grinder we go. Got the coarse die on there, and I think I'm gonna send it through twice. That way it's not too fine, but also not too chunky. And because it's brisket and it's pretty tough, this will help kind of tenderize it a little bit more. I love this gigantic meat grinder. It makes such quick work. But beautiful, nice, clean, pebbly grind on that. So now I'm gonna send it through one more time. Beautiful. I do love the texture of a 10mm die ground twice. I used to do that a lot at the restaurants, especially because it helps work the meat a little bit so you don't need to be nearly as aggressive when you're kneading it. But alas, in we go with all of our spices and get those mixed around. Ooh, it smells good right off the bat. And once evenly distributed, in we go with our liquid, which for me today is some homemade smoky gelatinous beef stock, but you could use whatever you like. Usually I'm just a water guy, but I had some beef stock on hand, so might as well add a little bit more flavor and richness. And now we're gonna start getting this all mixed up. And after several minutes of mixing, that is looking nice and tacky, sticking to the hand nicely, and smelling really good. So now in we go with our cheese, and I'm going in with some high temp cheddar cheese. You could use regular cheese if you like, but because this is going directly on a grill grate, I feel like the cheese might goo out and kind of burn up in the coals and not smell or taste very good. So high temp cheddar is the way for me. It'll stay in its original form, which is already cubed up, which is pretty convenient as well. Going pretty cheesy with about 20% cheese in this sausage, but you could drop that down to 10 or 15 if you like, or do no cheese at all. And now get that all folded in. And just like that, we've got ourselves some beautiful, beefy, cheesy, taco reminiscent, lovely beef sausage. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for a little bit until we need it, to let all those spices kind of start working on the meat and develop more flavor. This video is brought to you by Poncho. And over the past few months, I have updated my shirt collection, and as soon as they started appearing in videos, both my sister and my mom reached out to me and said, "You finally found a shirt that you like?" That's awesome, because I can be a bit picky when it comes to shirts, you know? It's gotta be lightweight, breathable, sleeve length can't be too long, at least for short sleeves. Not too boxy, not too stiff, and Poncho really just checks all the boxes. They're incredibly comfortable, lightweight, they fit really well, and all in all, they just look great as well. But if you're unfamiliar, Poncho is an Austin-based company with the goal to balance comfort with performance no matter the situation. They have many styles to choose from. They have Western, denim, flannel, ultralight, polos, t-shirts, the list goes on. And out of all the shirts I have from them, I've been really gravitating toward the Western style, you know, with the pearl snaps, which are both stylish and very convenient. And you always get that moment where you can just rip your shirt off, you know how often those situations come up. The ultralight is also fantastic. I'm gonna be rocking those a lot in the summertime when it's really hot down here in Texas. And they also make tough thread shirts, which are virtually indestructible, which would be great whenever I'm doing anything a bit more physical. They have many size options to choose from. Personally, I'm a 2X slim, but they also have regular and tall sizes as well, so I'm sure there's something that'll fit you perfectly. Like I said, the material is lightweight, nice and thin, good stretch to it, and breathable, which again is great when you're standing next to a barbecue pit in the summertime. And as someone with a reputation in the industry of the guy that's always wearing a black t-shirt with a bunch of welding holes in it, the confidence you get wearing a nice collared shirt like this is just absolutely fantastic. All the pockets snap shut, the collar snaps shut too if you're looking for a more clean look. Very nice. There's also a lens cloth on the inside of the shirt, which comes in very handy, and a nifty little foam pocket right here. What's not to like? So if you want to try Poncho shirts for yourself, click my link in the description box of this video where you can enter your email and get $10 off your first order. Again, link down below that'll take you to ponchooutdoors.com where you can enter your email and get $10 off your first order. Thank you, Poncho. Next up, let's go ahead and knock out some flour tortillas. So I'm going into the food processor with some bread flour, some kosher salt, and some baking powder. And get that all mixed up. And then we can go in with your fat of choice. Butter works great, shortening, whatever you really got, but Wagyu beef tallow is my favorite. Works out really well and will play nicely with all the ground beef. And get that cut in as well. And once that's evenly distributed, in we go with some warm water. And once the dough comes together, we're gonna let that knead for about a minute. Beautiful. I can never figure these things out. And now out it comes. Get that pesky blade out of there. And we'll give that a few more kneads just for good measure. Oh, it smells so good. Nice and warm too. And once we've got a nice smooth looking ball of dough, we're gonna break this down into some 150 gram dough balls for some nice big boy tortillas. Place your bets below. What do you think this weighs? 182, not bad. And then, per usual, we're gonna grab our dough ball and fold all the seams to the underside for a nice smooth topped ball, pinching all the seams shut on the bottom. And then give it the old table roll to make sure it's nice and taut and nice and smooth, like that. And now, we repeat. And once all rolled out, I'm gonna pop a lid on these and let these rest for the next 15-20 minutes to relax so they press out nice and easily. Oh God, why does it always go right in my eye? And one last thing before we build our skewers, let's knock out a really quick pico de gallo. Made simply with some diced white onion, some Roma tomato, jalapeno, cilantro, a little bit of lime juice, and a nice big fat pinch of salt. Let's throw in some black pepper as well, why not? And simply just get that all mixed up for a nice little fresh topper for our taco kebabs. Beautiful. Now over here on the burner, I got the old Chud press fired up, and it's time to press out these lovely tortillas. These dough balls are nicely relaxed and feeling very nice. So on we go, and press it down really hard, because this is a big boy tortilla. Taco toot. A little bit of stickage to the top, that's a-okay. And flip it over. Ooh, getting some good puffage. It's kind of the nice part about making these big tortillas is you only have to make a few as opposed to a bunch of tiny ones. But once looking nice and browned and nicely cooked, off this comes, ow, that's really hot, and back into the tortilla warmer to steam up while I repeat. Ooh. And now that these tortillas have rested, steamed out, and cooled down a little bit, we can finally go ahead and build our little tortilla kebabs here. Beautiful looking tortillas. They smell fantastic. Nice and pliable, and pretty much the same size. Gotta love that. So first thing I'm gonna do is square these up a little bit. Just kind of zip the ends off. Save these for a little snack later. Beautiful, nice stack of square tortillas. So now, grab some of our meat, looking very nice and sticky, and down we go, and we're gonna just spread this out in a nice, even layer. Pretty thin layer too, or thick layer. You can do whatever you want, folks. Something like that. And now, round two. It's kind of fun, and it smells really good. Although it's not often I smear raw meat all over a tortilla. I guess I did when I did the smash burger tacos a while back. It's always interesting testing these kind of viral food things. See if they're worth it or not, you know what I mean? Round three. And I don't really know how many rounds I should do. I'm thinking 4. Well, I got 5 tortillas, so we'll just see how tall this thing starts getting. And lastly, we will crown it all off with our final tort. What a monstrosity of a pile. It's like the weirdest lasagna you ever seen. And that is hefty. On second thought, the way we're gonna cut this, I actually do need to add one more layer of meat or remove the top tortilla, but come on, we're already here with way too much meat. And now that we're fully stacked up, we can go ahead and cut these down. So I'm gonna make these about 1 inch wide, something like this, and just go right through all the way to the bottom. Honestly, it's cutting a lot easier than I was expecting it to. With all that sticky meat in there, we might run into problems. Beautiful. And now we tip these all over, wishing I made them a little bit more even. Holy hell, this is huge. Looks like we're gonna be splitting this up into 2. And then we're gonna grab some skewers and go right through the middle of all these. Hopefully nice and straight. Poke that out right there. And then we'll send another one down, about 1 inch apart. And repeat. And then we come and we cut them one more time. And there we have it, the taco kebab. That's ridiculous, but look at all the layers of tortilla and meat and cheese in there. Pretty cool. And truth be told, I made a lot of these, a lot more than I was expecting, and they're pretty big. So if you're gonna make this for just a couple people, you might wanna scale that recipe back a little bit. And honestly, that was a little bit trickier than I was anticipating, but pretty happy with how these came out. Looking really nice. And as expected, I made way too much meat. Used about half of it, if that. But again, I'm just gonna case this up later for some good links. In the meantime, let's go ahead and fire up the pit. Got the old Chud box here fired up, pretty hot and fast too. We're rocking around 325, maybe 350. And now, simply enough, we take one of these beautiful little logs. How you doing? And on we go. Should be a relatively quick cook. You know, these are basically sausage sized, so no matter how you cook them, probably only gonna take 40 minutes or so. I definitely don't need to cook all of these, but here we are. Beautiful. Now I'm just gonna let these cook for the next little bit. Gonna rotate them periodically so we get even crusting, even browning, and cook everything through and build up some lovely direct heat flavor. We're about 15 minutes in. Starting to see some smoke coming out at the top, meaning rendering is happening. And oh yeah, getting some beautiful color on these. That looks really nice, good sizzle. So I'm just gonna keep rotating these periodically, probably for, like I said, 30, 40 minutes, till everything is looking beautiful. I will say it's really nice how these are firming up. I was worried that they might separate, but now that they're all cooking, that sausage is keeping everything glued together. And here we are at 35 minutes of cooking, and these are all looking absolutely beautiful. Nice and crispy, nice and bubbly, got some good Maillard on there. Looking and feeling very nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off. These are definitely cooked through at this point. And I'm gonna let them rest down for a little bit. I will say I am very happy with that quick and easy cook, although taking a look at these, maybe hot and fast was not the move because they are looking a little bit dark. And if you look at all the charred parts, I'm pretty sure that's all cheese. So maybe putting cheese in these was not the best idea, but also cooking these on a Chud box in the rain in the dark, also probably not the best idea. But they all held together. Tortillas are looking nice and crispy, everything's smelling really good. And if they are a little too dark, we can always doctor them up a little bit. Take a few of these, pop them down, and give them a nice little drizzle of some taco sauce that may or may not be from a restaurant with a bell for a mascot. It's fire sauce. Followed by a little crema, why not? Some pico de gallo all over the place for a nice little refreshing pop and a little more acidity. And finish it off with a little dusting of cotija cheese. There we go. Now they look beautiful. I will say, folks, these are looking pretty good, smelling incredible. It was a really easy cook, really quick. Prep didn't take long, came together really quickly. It looks pretty tasty, but let's find out. Like I said before, I've been seeing these all over the internet for a while, and I've been dying to try one, so let's go for it. I mean, there's just so much flavor going on. Right off the bat, that sausage alone is fantastic. It's cheesy, it's salty, it's got some kick to it from all the chili flakes and spices we put in there. And then you pair that with the tortilla bits in here that are essentially deep fried in sausage grease at this point. I mean, what's not to like about that? Then the freshness from the pico on top is really playing well. And you got some added moisture and kick from the crema and the sauce. That's a good bite right there. And it all just stayed together. Beautiful, pillowy, soft tortilla on the inside, crispy all the way around. That's good. Dip that in a little more sauce. It's like eating a taco, a sausage, and a shish kebab all at the same time. It's just a taco in a different form factor, and I really gotta stop doing this with it. But it's kind of fun. Whew. That heat is starting to build, though. In a good way. What happens if you just take the entire skewer out? Heard. It is interesting, if you peel apart the layers, it kind of looks like a Cheez-It, but full of meat. I will say, it is pretty interesting having the tortilla as an ingredient as opposed to the vessel, you know what I mean? Great texture on it though, the way it's kind of soaked up all that meat, fat, and juices. So all in all, thoughts on the taco kebab is, it's really tasty, and it's a pretty cool technique. I've never done this before, and it's definitely got a place. That being said, I think this leans a little bit more football party, gathering with my buddies kind of food, as opposed to something I'd make for a weeknight dinner, although you totally could. Comes together quick enough. And what's not to like about a bunch of meat and freshly made tortillas, am I right? But if I did make this again, I'd probably change up how I cooked it, a little less hot and fast, a little less intense heat, maybe a flat top to get a good sear on each edge, or maybe a low and slow. I'd be real interested to see how this comes out on an offset smoker. Get that nice red mahogany color as opposed to a sear. And I'd probably skip the cheese, although again, that's mostly because of how it looks as opposed to how it tastes, but pretty cool technique. And with this very last bite of taco kebab, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That's how to make some absolutely fantastic scratch-made taco kebabs. I highly recommend giving this one a try, you know. The flavor was great, quick and easy cook, and it's always fun to fire up the grill for a new technique. Again, I think my cooking method and presentation could have been a little bit better, but other than that, the flavor was there, and definitely something I'm going to keep playing around with. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.